Hello, and welcome to the Slayin' It with Shawna podcast.
Keep slaying it.
If you're looking for someone who's raw, unfiltered, and authentic, you've come to the right place. And now, let's get started with your host, Shawna Martinez.
Keep slaying it.
Hey everyone, let's see if this is gonna work. This is our first time, so this is our guinea pig, so we gotta bear with us today. Let me get this stuff all set up here. Okay, I think maybe we might be good. I don't know, we're trying this. Okay, hang on. Okay. Barry's taller than I thought, and then he moved. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're good. Hey everybody, Shawna Martinez here, and I'm here with actually my neighbor, Barry Barnes. I keep wanting to call him Barry Bonds, but his name is Barry Barnes. And he lives next door, but I started talking to him as we get to know our neighbors, which is good. And we found out that he knows a lot about nutrition. He actually stopped me from doing intermittent fasting. That's a whole other story. And so I wanted to bring him on because I know this week I just did a video talking about how we're all falling off the wagon. We're halfway through the year, so most people who set their resolutions have, kicked it the boot a long time ago. And so anyways, I'm just gonna let him kind of tell you a little bit about himself, and we're gonna dive right into it. I think we're gonna talk about some things that we do wrong, which I'm queen of, and then we're gonna figure out how to correct it. So without further ado.
Good morning, Barry Barnes. So I have always been active, and I've enjoyed working out and mountain bike riding and swimming, and you name it, I've probably done it. But a few years ago, I decided to get a little more serious about it. I wanted to understand and learn the science of personal training and get some education. So I actually got certified in personal training. And I very quickly learned that training was one very small part of overall health. And quickly found that I needed to understand nutrition, and that nutrition was really the key. And
100%. That's why I struggle.
And it's the tough thing. It's easy to jump in the car and drive to the gym. Mm-hmm. It's tough to form those good nutrition habits. So after my certification in personal training, I moved into the nutritionist, and quickly found that was a 6-month, 8-month process. It was
a lot more than you thought.
A lot more than I thought. But I became just fascinated by it. Became passionate about it. So I have air quotes, I have a real job outside of this. Mm-hmm. I'm in transportation logistics. But this is really a passion. And I'm the person who sits on my couch at night with my iPad and just Googles, what are the 5 healthiest fruits? I just weird, random things. And so I'm passionate, I love it, and I enjoy it. And I have clients that I work with now with both personal training and nutrition.
So so you got into this because you personally were just working out and wanting to do better, and then you kind of turned it into your side hustle.
Exactly.
Right. And so so here's my question is that when we talked, you said that you are vegetarian.
I in October of last year, I decided to go 1 week without eating meat, and
you liked it?
I did, yes.
And did your whole family adapt to that, or do you do your own thing and your family does their own thing?
So Kim, my wife, does. She's also stopped eating meat. The kids have not, but
I love a good steak.
Yes. Well, so I want to make this point up front. It is bad nutritional advice to tell someone to stop eating meat. That's not good nutritional advice. It's a very personal thing, and it's unique to different people.
You just personally liked it.
I personally felt more energy. I slept better, no heartburn. I mean, it was for me, it was a life transformation. But it is very good nutritional advice to tell someone to stop eating as much meat as they do. Meat as they do.
Yeah.
So for certain processed meats,
but it's like the ketogenic diet.
Right.
It's just a lot of meats, a lot of cheeses, I can only eat so much cheese. I can't do the ketogenic diet. I've tried.
Right.
So it's
your body needs a break.
Yeah.
Your body needs a break from meat. So even if you go, look, I like my meat and I'm going to eat my meat, that's fine. Eat meat. But just sometimes eat less of it.
It's kind of like just everything in moderation.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing is people are always well, what kind of dressing should you put on a salad? And I heard somebody say one time nobody got fat from eating salad. It's not the salad. It's everything else that we're eating.
That's right.
And so you made a very good point that nutrition is very, very important. And that's why I'm glad you're on here today, because for every single thing out there that says this is good for you, like the ketogenic diet, and I'm not knocking anybody who does that, to each their own. It doesn't work for me because I'm one of those people, I can't restrict myself. So when I talked to Barry and he said, hey, your body needs carbs, I said, we're best friends. Because but I did change from eating like white bread, like we talked about. I eat a multi-grain bread, which I like. I eat it with avocado. I make avocado toast now, which I love. But what I figured out is that for every single thing out there saying that it's good for you, there's something out there saying that it's not. So I know for people like me, I just get very confused. I don't know what I should be doing, what's up, what's down. Like, I don't know. But I do know this, that with everything I've had done, I've had a sleeve done. I lost like 85 pounds. I've had a tummy tuck. I feel amazing from having that. But, I've gained a little bit of weight. And it's like, what I figured out is you cannot outrun a bad diet. So I was working out 5-6 days a week and not losing any weight. And there's only one reason for that. Right. And it's because your diet literally sucks. It sucks. It's not good. And so for me, I know it's like, I work out and I think, I can have a hamburger and fries. Mm-hmm. But really you can't. You can't. Like you're basically saying I wasn't gaining any weight, which means I was basically working out to be able to eat the crap I wanted to eat. Well,
there's 3 macronutrients, right? There's fats, proteins, and there's carbs. Mm-hmm. So your body needs all 3.
Do you track?
I do not. And I'll tell you, and I think that and I take a little bit of a different approach, right? So some nutrition plans, so I write out nutrition plans. There's one right here in front of us. Some nutrition plans read like a medical journal. Mm-hmm. Some are like a cookbook. Just here's 7 days. Notes. Right. Mine is very different. And I think I don't talk about calorie counting. Let's stay off of scales. Let's don't talk about calories.
Just focus on what you're actually putting in your body.
Let's just talk about eating right, eating the right things.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very important. Use your, I call it the portion control guide, where you use your hand to tell you how much protein to eat, how much carbs to eat, how much vegetables to eat. So there's different tricks to do it. But I think that dieting and counting calories and standing on that scale every morning is a little counterproductive.
So this is why I'm friends with Barry, because one, he says things that makes complete sense to me. So I was doing the 75 hard challenge and I made it 27 days, which is like I did over 50 workouts in those 27 days because it's 2 workouts a day, and I was tracking everything. And I can tell you, I had no problem doing the workouts. I had no problem doing the diet. Like, you had to follow some sort of diet, which I was doing intermittent fasting. But after I talked to you, I stopped doing that and I changed to something else. And it's okay to change your mind on things. But what I found was 100%, it pissed me off every single morning I would get on the scale. Yeah. And that was part of the thing, is I had to weigh, and it started my day off on a negative note. And I think a lot of things is like mindset. So what are your thoughts on, like, do you think mindset is a part of it? Do you do anything with mindset? Do you believe in like visualization, anything like that?
Well, yeah. So I think that, mindset is there's a little bit about discipline, right? So you have to be disciplined, but you have to be in the right mindset. When you start this process, if you wake up today and you go, today's the day. If not now, when? That's something I always like to say. If you're not going to do it now, then when are you going to do it?
Yeah. So time's going to pass anyways.
It's going to pass. When you make up your mind to do it, you got to be in the right mindset. And a lot of that's about, I think, having the right coach. So being a little bit self-promoting. Right?
I do think that coaching is important. I do think that. I have it for my business, and I can tell you my business is amazing because, not because of I lack work ethic or anything like that. I had the discipline. I just didn't know what to do. So having a coach like you, it's like it takes the guesswork out of it. It's like, basically, I'm one of those people, I'll do anything. Just tell me the plan and I'll follow it. But if you don't have that, like, you're literally just all over the place, like chasing what we call the shiny silver bullet on everything.
That's right. And I think that I think that the support of a spouse, the support of 100%. Your family is awfully important.
Yep. And I have that, so I don't have that excuse either.
Wow. Well, and I think the coaching, so the nutrition plan it's 9 or 10 pieces of paper with words on it, but there's an accountability piece to it. And a coach, it's almost like selling a house, right? So you can stick a for sale by owner sign in your front yard if you want, and you can sell your house that way. But you're not always going to get what you want. If you
may take a really long time to get it sold.
That's right. You might not get the money that you want and all that stuff. I think it's the same way with nutrition. You can do it yourself, and I encourage people to do it. And if you have an accountability friend, spouse, partner, whatever, that can help you do it. But if you have a coach that's giving you that weekly accountability piece, it really is transformative.
It's huge, because here's the thing, is like, if anybody's like me, and I think that there are, I think there's a lot of like-minded people out there, especially on my Facebook page and who I'm friends with in social media. And for me, it's like if I know somebody's counting on me to follow through on something, I don't want to disappoint them. And I'm like, I have my coaching call every single Wednesday morning. I had it this morning, 7:30. I'm always prepared, ready to go. And I will not show up on my Wednesday coaching call and not have my stuff done.
Right.
It's the same thing with nutrition. I know that I'm huge on accountability. I think it's huge to put it out to people to let them know what you want to do, because then you have a lot of people holding you accountable and watching you. You don't want to let them down.
That's right.
And then you see results. So like for somebody, so you talked about having good habits and having good discipline. How does somebody go to, like, you know, all of us fall off the wagon all the time. Sure. I do several times a week about things. What is your best advice on like trying to get back and try to build discipline?
Well, it's a daily thing, right? So you can't take days off. I think one of the biggest misnomers is that you can have a cheat day or you can have a cheat meal. Everyone's different. Everyone's wired differently. I am wired. If I went to Chick-fil-A today, I would go to Chick-fil-A tomorrow. Wow. So for me, the idea of cheat days and I'm just going to do this once or twice, I think that's a little bit of it's fool's gold a little bit. And I think the biggest secret in nutrition is that if you can just get through the first 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is, I know, but if you can do it, the biggest secret is you're not going to want the cheat. You're not going to want the ice cream at 10 o'clock at night. You're not going to want the Chick-fil-A.
Do you think it's because your body no longer wants that crap in your body, so to speak? Or do you think it's because you build the disciplines, you no longer think about it?
I think it's mind over matter. Yeah, I think it's absolutely in your mind. If I went to Chick-fil-A today and ate that great chicken sandwich that I really do love, and I used to love the fries, and they're so good, and I drank a big Dr. Pepper, and I came home and I had an ice cream sandwich, my body, it would make me sick. I would not
reject it almost.
Right, but mentally, just thinking about it right now, it's not even appealing. There's a time when you start this process. There's going to be a moment when you're in your kitchen, you're at someone's house, and you see a cupcake, or you see a cookie, or you see whatever that thing is that challenges you.
Or you celebrate everything with food.
Well, yeah, and you're going to want it. One of the biggest secrets in this is if you can just get through that first few months, you're not going to want it.
So you're saying nobody should want a cupcake?
I'm saying that...
Are you saying you never eat... I just want to wrap my mind around this. Are you saying like you never have a slice of pizza? Like you never have ice cream? You never... I don't know what your kryptonite thing is, but...
I do, but it's very, very rare. So can we talk about pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my favorite pizzas is a whole grain wheat crust with barbecue sauce, a little sweet, a little sugar, but with cashews, pineapples, baby spinach, cranberries.
Interesting. So it has like the sweet, salty, crunchy.
It's delicious. And I get my pizza fix, and it's a little bit bad for me because of that barbecue sauce.
But you can get sugar-free. So there's a lot of sugar-free barbecue sauces out there.
That's true.
You just have to watch out for the preservatives and what they're using as like a substitute. You just have to be careful about those things. I learned that you have to learn to read labels, and that in itself is like another language. But so you're saying you can have these things, you just need to find like a healthier alternative.
That's correct. And really, to be completely honest, I don't have those cravings anymore. After a while, you'll get to a point where you don't want them. And when you couple good nutrition with exercise, you start to understand there's a correlation between this much work with that cupcake. And then you start to figure out it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Because I do Peloton, right? So my thing this week was, and I would love to hear your feedback on this because I value it very much, but so I went from doing the 75 hard that was like 2 45-minute workouts and all this, extreme. And I'm an all or nothing person, which I talked about earlier this week on my Facebook Live. And I had a lot of people reach out and say, yeah, they understood because they're the same way. So what I'm trying to focus on is just doing like at least committing. So I want to undercommit so that I don't keep breaking promises. So that's kind of the thing is I keep breaking promises to myself. And then it becomes very easy for me to break promises. And it's like, that's the last thing you want to do is break promises to yourself. Right. And so for me, it's like, if I set the goal, and I'm not saying underachieve, but I'm saying build on that. So say instead of doing a 45-minute workout or saying, I'm going to work out every day for an hour, it's like, why not just commit to saying, I can do 20 minutes. So no matter what happens in my day, I can do a 20-minute workout. And what happens is, what I have found just this week, because I started doing it, is that I actually end up doing more than that 20 minutes because I'm like 20 minutes comes and goes and it's easy to do. And then it makes me feel good when I get done with my workout. Say I got 35 minutes in instead of, 20 minutes. Then I did more than I committed to do. And it does something to my mindset, makes me feel better about myself rather than beating myself up because I didn't do what I said I was going to do.
I think that's great. I'm glad I thought of that. But one of the things I have been shocked at with this journey that I've gone through, and I'm going through this journey with other people, is how much emotion plays into what you eat. This idea of stressful eating. I'm stressed at work, I'm stressed at home, it's 9 o'clock and I go in there and I eat. That's never been my struggle or part of, but understanding that.
Why do you
with
think
other
that
people.
is? Because you plan out?
Genetics, DNA. I think some of it's just the way my mindset is. When I am stressed, I don't eat. I'll lose 5 pounds after a stressful.
If I was him, I'd be so skinny.
I know. But I think it's just sort of the way that we're built. But you understand that about yourself with the Peloton, the working out. So you've created something but mentally it's getting you sort of past that. And I think that that's fantastic. And I think that that's what. Not everyone has that awareness. And sometimes a coach can really come in and can help you with that thing.
Yeah.
I want to say something about sugar. We're talking about cupcakes and all of that. There's 2 things that everyone that's listening really needs to understand about sugar. So sugar is killing us. It is making us obese. It is
There's lots of documentaries out there about this, people.
It's really, it's one
even
of
these sugar substitutes.
Yeah. No blame.
I don't put any sugar in anything, and I don't even crave sugar anymore. And in fact, if I, like what I used to eat or drink, like say I had like Shakeology, for instance, was a shake I used to drink after my workouts. I can't even touch it. It's way too sweet. I don't like it. So like even in my coffee, I don't put sweetener or any. I just put like a little bit of half and half in there, and I'm good to go. Before it was like all cream, all sugar, little splash of coffee, and now it's like I can actually taste the coffee, and I'm actually becoming where I love it.
But you're cutting in a good spot. But so as a woman your age, you should have no more than 30 grams of added sugar a day.
But you can have it like, so we did talk about this, so it's added sugar, so meaning like your fruits and vegetables, those are okay because they're natural.
It's natural.
Okay.
So 30 for a woman, it's 30 grams of a day of added sugar. So you need to start flipping these labels.
Looking at them, you'd be surprised.
It's incredible. For a man, it's 36 grams. So you will very quickly hit that 30 grams.
Yeah.
And most people do, and it's killing us, and it's diabetes.
Literally, it is killing us.
It's obesity, and it's a lot of different things. But specifically, you see this in kids. And for all the mothers that are listening or that will hear this, the mother bear is still the one, no matter how far we've advanced as a society, right? The mother bear is still the one who dictates a lot of the nutrition in the
100%.
home. And if you bring bad things into your home, either you or someone you love is going to eat it. If you bring good things into your home, either you or someone you love is going to eat it.
Correct.
So I would really strongly suggest, if you get nothing else out of this conversation today, 30 grams of sugar a day, but in the amount of sugar that the children are eating, obesity in children right now is just insane.
Well, because they're more sedative. Like even for, like our kids are all really good shape or whatever, but we struggle with that with them because it's like everybody's on their phones, watching TV, on their laptops, and then now we have school where it's you're doing it from home. It's like they literally never go outside. They don't get vitamin D. And with Silas, like we do it out of simplicity. We're very bad. We're working on that. But like he loves McDonald's, but he doesn't really eat McDonald's. He goes for the toys, but we go through the McDonald's drive-thru like every day. But every once in a while he'll, like yesterday he wanted ice cream. He had like 2 bites. Like so he does not eat the best stuff when he's at our house. But when he's at my mother-in-law, so this is a perfect example of what you have in your house, they will eat. Because when he's at my mother-in-law's house, which is every day, he eats beans, he'll eat rice, he'll eat fruit. He eats soups. Like they don't have this junk in the house, but like with us, he knows he can come here and he can eat yogurt, which, like he eats yogurt, but he'll have like 4 sticks of yogurt. He'll have like 4 cheese sticks. So it's not that he eats bad stuff, but he eats like several of it. And then that kid, if he wants something, he wants it. And we have to figure out how to make it. He lives off of, eggs and pan, which is eggs and toast. And he'll eat like maybe 1 out of the 3 eggs we make for him, depending on how he is that day. But he'll eat 4 pieces of toast with butter and jelly on it. So it's like we started keeping sugar-free jelly in the house for that reason. But it's like, that's a prime example of they will eat what's in your home, and you're the kind of the head of what your kids are going to be consuming, and we're not doing a very good job of it. That's basically what I'm saying. But we're working on it.
So I want to say this. So there was a recent study, 2018, Harvard School of Public Health, and they determined that doing 4 or 5 different things for your health, nutrition, working out, could add 14 years onto her life.
I could live forever.
Or 12 years for a man. The thing that I thought was interesting about the article, so 14 years for a woman, 12 years for a man. Here are the 5 things. Eating a diet high in plants, low in fats. That's number 1. Exercise at a moderate to vigorous level for several hours a week. Maintain a healthy body weight. Don't smoke. And drinking. Here's the one, right? So this is the biggest question I always get about drinking.
Mm-hmm.
For women, one alcoholic drink a day. For men, 2 alcoholic drinks.
That's not bad.
So you can have
I
one
can do
drink,
that.
one a day. But what I got that was so interesting about this, and what I thought about this study was, so you can add years onto your life. That's great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's 2 things. It's the quality of life. Mm-hmm. That's number 1. Your quality of life is going to be better. You're living longer in your quality. But here's the other thing. If you pass this on to the next generation, to your kids,
it shortens their lifespan.
Well, if you pass on the good things to them,
yes,
you're not only taking care of yourself, but they're going to live longer. They're going to have a better quality of life.
You're doing what the epitome of being a parent is.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's not just about you and you living longer and healthier, but it's about what these habits. So to your point with Silas, it's these good habits and traits that you're trying to instill in him. It means something.
So we found out was, even with our older kids, they're teenagers, and like they just eat whatever they want because they're teenagers and they don't like anything I make or whatever. What we found is that when I talked to you like about a month ago or so, when I was doing the 75 hard, and he was telling me, have fruits and vegetables, have all that kind of stuff. So what we started doing was we figured out the fruits and stuff that our kids like. So they like strawberries. They like watermelon, they like mango, those kinds of things. So we actually keep all that stuff in the house at all times, and I always have it cut up fresh for them. It's in glass containers, and sometime throughout the day, most of the days, we'll pull it out of the fridge, put it on the counter, and we found out when it's in front of them, they will choose that over going into the pantry and eating ramen noodles, for instance, or like something that's not as healthy for them. And everybody gets full and they love it. And we put chili on ours, which if you haven't tried that combination, it's very good on a mango and watermelon, and it's not bad for you. It's just seasoning, like spices, and our kids love it. And we go through it like that, and I have to go back to the store, but I don't mind going to the store for fresh vegetables and fresh fruits.
That's right.
And what I found is that I try new things too. Mm-hmm. So like I wasn't an oatmeal lover, but I found somebody on TikTok, thank you, that makes these overnight oats, and because it's a texture thing for me, and I found out that I actually really like oatmeal with banana. So I put like a third of a banana in there.
Oatmeal's great.
Overnight. Yeah. So you agree with that?
Oh my God. So one day a week, probably on a Saturday or Sunday, get a big glass of wine, put on your favorite music on the soundbar, right? Uh-huh. Go into your kitchen and just start cutting. Cut peppers, cut carrots, cut broccoli, cut fruit.
And you just grab it.
And just put it in Tupperwares and stick it in your refrigerator.
Yeah. And I found that you use glass jars, by the way. If you use glass containers, that stuff will last for you can even take your lettuce out of the lettuce package, because I know for me, I like romaine lettuce a lot, but it'll go bad if I don't eat it within, a few days. Anything you put in a glass container will last a lot longer.
Absolutely. Get a big pot of potatoes, parsnips, carrots, corn, red pepper. It is a soup that, you can have potatoes. And it is a soup that will last you for 3 or 4 or 5 days, as long as you can tolerate eating it. Yeah. By the end of the week, you're like, I don't want to eat another bite of that soup.
So it's funny you say that, because I follow this one girl who's she is a life coach and a health coach, and she lost like 100 pounds all on her own. And she just started she said I could just go to it's Corinne Crabtree, by the way. So if you're not friends with her, don't follow her. She does the Fit and Fat tribe. Check her out. She's very, very cool, very good. She gives very good tips. But what she said was that she knew that when she was over 100 pounds heavier, that she could go to the gym and walk for 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. So she said, I started out doing that for 15 minutes. But what she says is, and I totally lost my train of thought, and that happens all the time. Oh, she says that we were talking about eating the same foods over and over. She said the problem with us is we think we have to have an orgasm in our mouth every time we have a meal.
Thank you. That's your exact.
And she says, and so now I think about that. So I actually eat a lot of the same things over and over. And I'm a very repetitious person, because it takes out a couple things for me. One, I don't have to think about it. Mm-hmm. And 2, I don't have time. I'm always like rushing to go somewhere in and out. So I know I can grab a shake. So I keep those in my fridge. I do the 0 sugar, 30 grams of protein. I put it in my coffee sometimes when I'm heading out the door. I know I can grab a salad out of there, put a little dressing on it. In my husband's driving, I can eat it in the car. So I keep those kinds of things around. But when I think about, ooh, man, I really want Chewy's and a margarita for dinner, and I'm like, but I can go home and have taco salad like I already have. And then I think about what she says is that not everything, because it gets to the point where, my point is, it gets to the point where it starts to get where you can't even fulfill your own desires with food, because you're constantly eating out, eating crap, like nothing sounds good anymore. And so you have to get past that point of everything has to be an amazing meal every time you eat it. Sometimes you just need to eat for fuel.
Sometimes food is just simply fuel.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would say. I'll tell you something else. If you're not hungry, don't eat. There's this misnomer. People,
every couple hours.
Well, in the morning, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You got to wake up and you got to eat a hearty breakfast. For some people, that's just not the case.
I still haven't eaten breakfast, and it's what, like 10:30?
If you're not hungry, don't eat. And we talk about intermittent fasting. So one of my rules in my nutrition plans is you cannot eat after dinner. When you've eaten dinner,
that's it.
That is it. If you get hungry after dinner, drink a big glass of water.
And go to bed.
Oftentimes hunger is dehydration.
True. And we tell our kids that. So it's funny that he says that. That's actually a very valid point. I don't know if it works or not with them, but and then my kids will even say, so the other night we made dinner, and then about a couple of hours later, the girls came down, they were hungry. And they asked if they could have a snack. And I said, are you sure you're hungry? And they said, yes. And we drank a glass of water. They already told me, because they know that's the first thing we're going to say, drink some water, because you probably haven't drank very much throughout the day. How do you feel about water, for instance? How do you feel about people putting flavorings in their water because they don't really, if they have a hard time drinking water?
So there's this idea or theory it's called dietary displacement. So you're substituting something good or sort of good for something that was bad. Mm-hmm. So the answer to your question is water is the best thing for you to drink.
Just plain water.
Is drinking water with some sweetener, a flavoring in it, better than a Mountain Dew? Mm-hmm. Of course it is.
Yeah.
So I would rather yes. So drink your water with the flavoring as opposed to a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
My daughter loves Topo Chico. She squeezes this black cherry.
It tastes like a Dr. Pepper.
Tastes like Dr. Pepper.
Thank you,
TikTok. Yeah.
Learned it on TikTok. And we have it here at the
would I rather her just drink mineral water or regular water? Of course. But if she's going to drink that as opposed to
at least it's improving a habit.
So it's a dietary displacement. But what I wanted to say about going back to the fasting, so if the rule is you don't eat after dinner, and you find yourself a little bit hungry and you drink some water and you go to bed, and then the next morning, let's say you skip breakfast. You're not really a breakfast person and you eat lunch. Mm-hmm. You have just fasted that everybody loves.
But not on purpose.
For 16 hours.
Yeah.
If you do eat breakfast in the morning, you have fasted for 12, 13, 14 hours, depending on when you ate dinner. So this idea of, people really get into this thing with fasting, and I want to fast. If you don't eat after dinner, and you don't eat breakfast or eat a late breakfast.
Because you're not hungry. But if you are, eat something.
Eat something. But you have just fasted.
What I found is, and I'm sure there's some sort of science behind this because it happens every time, is that when I eat, sometimes I can't sleep because my anxiety just runs and runs. And so I'll wake up and it'll be midnight and I'm hungry because I'm up now instead of sleeping. And I'll eat something say I'll get a little peanut butter toast or something. When I wake up in the morning, 5 hours later, I'm starving. Why is that? Is it because I kicked off my metabolism at midnight?
Probably, yes.
But it never fails. Every time I eat later, I wake up in the morning and I'm starving.
Yeah, and I'll tell you,
and then I eat more throughout the day.
Yeah, and your body really doesn't want when you're trying to sleep and that's anxiety. It might sometimes it's your body trying to digest the food and it's trying to process all of that.
I didn't think about that.
So sometimes there are these sleep. There's 3 pillars of health: nutrition, absolutely the most important; exercise, but then rest. And people so often overlook the rest and recovery piece.
So he brings up a valid point because he has this watch. I don't know if you can see it, but it's called the Whoop.
Yes,
right?
I do. I'm a fan of the Whoop, yes.
So I started looking it up, and he says that because he works out. I look over there, he's working out all the time. And he says, well, yeah, but sometimes it tells you if you worked out too hard and your body needs a rest day. Sure. So do you choose your rest days based on what the Whoop tells you, or do you kind of have a set?
Absolutely. I let it choose for me. Absolutely. It looks at cardiovascular strain. It looks at your heart rate variability, the distance between your heartbeats. Mm-hmm. It looks at your resting heart rate. It looks at the amount of sleep that you get.
Because you wear it when you sleep, too.
You never take it off.
And it stays charged for a long time.
Yes, and you can charge it, but you never take it off. And when you charge it with it on you. But it throws it in this algorithm, and it spits out. And there are days where I feel sort of tired, and it's saying you're 100% ready to go. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to go work out.
Yeah.
There are days when it's telling me to take a break. And it forces me.
Was that hard for you at first?
Oh, my gosh. One of the biggest problems with training is overtraining. Mm-hmm. People get so addicted to training and exercise, and they want to do it 7 days a week, and they don't understand that when you're resting and sleeping, that's when your muscles are building. That's when you're growing muscle. You're not growing muscle in the gym. You're growing muscle when you sleep that night and when you rest.
So I have a very hard time. We talk about mental, and it is very hard to train yourself to say, oh, it's okay to have an off day.
No, absolutely.
But like, I don't know if this stems back from, and I'm still like, when I talked earlier this week on my Facebook Live, I'm still very much trying to figure out the mental side of why I do things, because I do think that the reason why I struggle with my weight my whole life is there's something that I'm not getting to the bottom of. There's something that I'm holding on to. There's an emotional side, like you said. But I also grew up playing sports, very competitive sports my entire life, where we had very hard workouts, like year round. And so as an adult, I just think that's the way I should train as an adult. First of all, I'm no spring chicken. I'm gonna be 38 this year. And it's like, so I have a very hard time. I feel like it's balls to the wall or nothing. And I just feel like if I'm not doing an hour workout, burning 900 calories during my workout, then it's not good enough. And what I found after talking to several doctors, and they should know, but I never wanted to believe them, is that my body doesn't need that. It actually wreaks havoc on my body, especially for a woman who maybe has hormonal issues, which I'm on medicine for that, because I found out that my thyroid's completely out of whack and so are my hormones. And it's actually doing more harm than good. And so they say, like a 20, 30-minute walk is really all you need. But it is very hard to wrap your mind around that that's all your body needs. Whatever it is, whatever that is, that it doesn't have to be working out 7 days a week, but you do need to listen to your body.
You do. And there's such a correlation with nutrition and exercise. When you start eating well, you're going to want to exercise.
Yes.
And when you're exercising, you want to eat well. So they really are very intertwined. But
I agree with that 100%.
We've all been at the gym, and we've all seen, I'm going to pick on the guys, because mostly you see this with men, but you'll see a guy, he's obviously out of shape. Mm-hmm. He's obviously not eating right. His nutrition is not good. You can just see it. And he's over there with the dumbbells. Mm-hmm. Or he's bench pressing. He's grunting. He's bench pressing. He's squatting. He's doing all these wonderful things with weights. He's completely out of shape. And you want to go over to him and put your arm around him and go, hey, let's chill with the gym. Let's chill with the weights. Let's go eat right. Let's walk in the evenings. Hold your wife's hand. Y'all go for a nice walk. And there's a time for weights, and there's a time for that. Mm-hmm.
So if somebody was getting into it, you bring up a very valid point that I actually, because I've seen a lot of so I watch a lot of people on TikTok that have lost a lot of weight, women, because I follow women because it's, pertains to me. But most of them have said that they have chosen to do weights over cardio, and that's what's helped them because muscle, burns fat. So what is your take on, say somebody who's 50 pounds overweight and they're getting in to start working out for the first time after you've got your nutrition in place, because nutrition is more important. I think for me, I try to focus more on nutrition and then add the exercise in. That would just be me. But what would you say you need to do a combination of cardio and weights, or would you say all cardio until you lose a little bit, or what is your take on that?
So this is a great debate. So that's a wonderful question, but it's a highly debated question. So for me, I'm working out with a client. I'm working with a client right now, and she's doing the nutrition plan. We do a weekly accountability. So I'm texting her every day. What are you eating? She takes pictures of her dinner plates. If she struggles, we talk all week long. So I'm holding her accountable, and we also work out once a week. Together. I go to her house. We work out in her driveway. It's great. We've been doing this for about 6 weeks. My plan with her is I want to get her heart rate elevated. I just want her heart rate to get high. And I want it to be, when we're working out, I want it to be somewhere in that 130 to 150 range.
I was looking down a watch yesterday when I was doing my 20-minute Peloton ride, and I was in the warm-up, and it was 155. In the warm-up.
That's a little high. That's a little high. We might want to back that down just a tad. But I just want her heart rate elevated. Because, whether we're doing that with weights or whether we're doing it with cardio, whatever, because especially towards the end of the workout, if we get your heart rate up towards the end of the workout, you can still, your metabolism is pumping and you're burning calories for hours afterwards.
So you're more like a HIIT person, like a HIIT workout?
I like to do both cardio and weights. I like to do timed. For her now. So when I go to the gym, I don't do that. I'm doing different things. But for her right now, we're going to do 30 seconds of work and 30 seconds of rest.
I like
30
workouts
seconds
like
of
that.
Work, 30 seconds.
Because I can kill it for 30 seconds. Anybody, that's what I always think is even when I'm on my Peloton, they're well, we're going to do a 2-minute climb. I'm I can do anything for 2 minutes.
So and I know CPR, but I don't want to do CPR. So I've
never died in a workout. I've never even passed out or even threw up.
Well,
really, yeah.
And I don't. So this client, the first day we worked out, she threw up, which is fine.
And it's okay if you do. It's
all
okay.
right.
Yeah.
But I don't. But part of doing it that way lets you control your output. I'm not in your body.
Yeah.
So for me,
what's
just
the best? So they always tell us, and he was asking me how I like my Peloton. I said I love the trainers are phenomenal, and what I love about it is they're always preaching, listen, like as long as you're doing your best and you're proud of what you're doing, don't worry about the numbers.
That's right.
Like if I'm saying do this and that's out of your wheelhouse right now to do, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you're doing your best. Make sure that whatever you're doing when you get off of here, you're proud.
Right.
And I will tell you, when they say that, like I kick it up a notch because I'm like, there's always a little bit left in the tank.
That's right.
But my best is like, I can get on the Peloton and my output's not going to be the same as you. You can get on the Peloton for the first time and you're such in good shape, like you're going to kill my output. And it's okay because you're in a different space than I am.
That's right.
It's not about comparing yourself to other people. It's about comparing. It's always about, you're in competition with yourself.
So I have a sign in my garage. It says better than yesterday.
Yes.
And whether we're talking about working out, we're talking about nutrition. See how easily we go to working out? It's so much more fun to talk about working out. Working out is so fun and we love talking about it. But
if you find what you like to do. So I do think it's important, like working out is fun, but you have to find one that you like.
There's no doubt. But
otherwise you're not going to stick with it.
You're exactly right. But as long as you're being a better than yesterday, every day, if you can just build on that improvement of what you're eating and what you're exercising, I think that's a victory. Yeah. And celebrate the victories. People too often overlook someone I'm working with now, they're very stressed out. It was 9:30 of the night. She's texting me. She's like, I want to go to that pantry so bad, but I'm not going to do it. And as her coach, I'm like, atta girl, don't do it. We talk through it. That was a victory. And so often we would just wake up the next morning and go about our lives. No, stop, time out, and celebrate what you did the night before.
100%.
Your whole life, for 40 years, you've been stressful eating.
Yes.
And last night you didn't do it.
Yes.
And that's a victory. So celebrate the victories.
I 100% think that. And I think that, and I was reading this one book, I forget which one it was. I read a lot of books that are about, self-improvement. And they were saying sometimes you just have to take yourself out of that environment. So like say if it's, and here in Texas, it's like 105 degrees. So I'm okay going and taking a walk at 9 o'clock at night if the roads are lit up. So like if you start having that, like maybe remove yourself from that environment. They say change your schedule because if you're used to going into the pantry every night at 9:30, you need to be aware of that and think of what else could you be doing right then. Could you be maybe getting ready for bed, putting your workout clothes on, maybe going for a walk, or maybe reading a book. Like change what you would be normally doing. If it's watching TV and thinking about going to the pantry, turn the TV off, do something else.
Absolutely. It's great advice.
Yeah, 100%. Like just re-averting what you're thinking. I know that works for me. And I know I'm a stress eater. Like I know my mom was in the hospital. She was in the hospital for 30 days. I think I gained 30 pounds. Mm-hmm. We were eating QT every day because that's right across from the hospital. And I didn't realize it until then. I was 30 years old when mom passed away, and I just realized that I was a binge eater with stress. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, I don't know why we turn to food to make us feel better, because after we get done eating, we never feel good.
No.
And that's something else. So like I had read this one article that said, or I read this, maybe it was a book or something, that they said, always think about how, like, what is this going to do? Like, is this going to make me feel better after this? And if the answer is no, don't do it. I know it's easier said than done, but we're thinking like, if you think of yourself as a healthy person, put yourself, instead of saying, I'm going to be healthy, you say, I am healthy. And then you make choices like a healthy person. Like you get out a candy bar, you think, would a healthy person eat this? If the answer is no, put it back. What would a healthy person do? And they said, by doing that over and over and over again, you will eventually become that healthy person.
It's good advice. One thing that I would say as an appendage to that is that we have been so conditioned. Sometimes we think it's stressful eating, and maybe it is. We've been so conditioned in this country to eat when we're hungry. When we have a hunger pain, mm-hmm. we feel like we always have to be full. The mm-hmm. gas tank's always got to be on full. And that's not the case. It is okay mm-hmm. to be hungry. Mm-hmm. That feeling of hunger is actually healthy. It's normal and natural in human beings, not for Americans so much.
Yeah. But your body needs time to process the food and stuff that you're putting into it.
It does, and it's okay to be hungry. And I have learned to sort of appreciate that feeling.
It's almost like a challenge.
You get that hunger feeling, and it's 9:30,
yeah.
and you're like, I'm at the point now where I can sort of laugh at it. I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah. Drink a glass of water and go to bed. Yeah. But it's taken a long time to get to that point. Mm-hmm. But don't feel like you always have to eat.
So for somebody who's wanting to, start maybe a process with a coach or whatever, like if they got in touch with you, what would that look like?
So the first thing is there's 10 or 11, 12 pages of paper you've got to fill out. And I have to have that information. Any good nutritionist or coach needs that information.
Because they can't help you if they don't know.
No, and it's some of it's very personal. Some of it is, it's almost like, I feel like I should have a degree in psychiatry too. There's a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings that come out. But it's okay, right? So trust your coach. Answer the questions.
And don't be embarrassed.
Stop. Who cares? Yeah.
You have to meet yourself where you are.
That's right.
And so it's like, give yourself some grace. I know I'm that way too. Like, on Perception on social media, we have it all together. I had to have a one-on-one coaching session this morning with my coach, and he had to break it down to me and say, you need to spend some time with your family. So you are like a therapist. I mean, really.
There's no doubt.
But there's a lot of emotions that are involved. So don't be afraid of, and don't be scared and ashamed of whatever you have to put down on the paper, whatever the questions are. I haven't seen it. But just be honest, because you can't do anything that you don't acknowledge.
That's right.
And this is a starting point.
If not now, when?
Exactly.
If you're eating poorly, right, and today you're sitting here listening to this and you're going, I'm not eating right, I'm not exercising. Why kick that can down the road?
Why do it another day?
So the second thing, after I get all the information, I put a plan together. And my plan is not, and everybody's is different. Some coaches is more of a medical, they get really into the medicinal aspects of this. Some it's just, hey, eat this for 7 days, right? Here's 5 weeks of meal plans. I do something very, very different. So mine's a little bit of a combination of the two. But I gotta tell you, this is just words on a paper. The key, in my opinion, is the weekly accountability. Now, it sounds self-promoting, right? Because most coaches are going to charge you for that. But when you look at the money, it's like...
But if you're investing in it, you'll do it.
It's 4 or 5 Starbucks coffees a week, right?
Yeah.
It's whatever they're going to charge you, and what it's doing for you and your health. It is... The return on the investment is
not even able to know what the return is.
You can. It's consequent. So if you want to get a nutritionist to make you a plan, go for it. I think that the weekly accountability is the key. And then the third piece to that really is exercise. And that's the piece where everybody always wants to jump to that. Just come work out with me. Let's start lifting weights. And I would really say if overall health and nutrition is what you're aiming for, let's chill on the exercising. Let's get the nutrition locked down, and let's work out once a week.
I 100% agree with that, because going back to just my experience, I've worked out 7 days a week before and gained weight because, it's like, and then I look at it and I'm going, what's the point? Am I doing it? Why am I even doing this? And it's like, because I'm not really doing it. I'm trying to cover up. It doesn't matter whether you log everything or not. It doesn't matter if you get on the scale. Like, your body is a direct correlation to whatever you're putting into your body. So it's like, if you aren't looking as great as you want to, it's probably because you ate pizza. Like, I know we eat pizza once a week. You probably see them pull up to our house. But we eat pizza once a week because we basically live just in, like, we have to go right this second. And so it's very hard for us to plan things out. So would you say with the nutrition program you put together, is that why you're saying Saturdays you need to use, whatever day it is for you, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, you need to prep everything?
When you get caught flat-footed, it's when you go to McDonald's and you order pizza.
When you don't have a plan.
When you don't have a plan, you get caught flat-footed and you make very, very poor decisions.
If you don't plan, you plan to fail, pretty much.
You have to plan ahead. Client texted me the other day. She says, we're going to some friend's house. I know it's going to be bad food. It's 6 o'clock.
But you can always take something.
Right.
So
or
you
eat
can take,
before.
Yes, you can eat before, or you could always be the one who takes something that no matter what, you can eat what you brought.
That's right.
So if it's a salad, if it's, vegetables, it's a fruit tray, whatever, you could just stock up on whatever it is. You have control over that.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But planning ahead and understanding what you're getting into, if you're going on vacation.
Which we are.
Vacations are tough, but you know what? Who says you can't pack a bag full of your favorite protein bars and your favorite lentil chips from Whole Foods or whatever it is? Pack that stuff and take it with you, because if you don't, you're going to make poor choices.
So when you guys go on vacation, do you, we like to eat out because it's like you get to experience the local fare or whatever. So it's like, do you guys do that too?
Sure. I mean, so
do you look up menus before you go? Like, what is it? Like,
you have fun and you'll enjoy your
something.
vacation. But I would say, enjoyment for me is eating good. Enjoyment isn't, I get to get a week of eating.
So you're not one of those people that come back and go, I gained 10 pounds on my vacation.
No, that's
you're
not
like,
fun
I
to
came
me.
back and I weigh exactly the same.
That sounds miserable. I want to eat good. That's fun to me. But I would say, everyone likes to knock the vegetarian meals and all that, but if you go to a restaurant and you look at the menu and you're like, oh crap, there's not a lot of good stuff. Go to the vegetarian stuff. Of course, the salads, like you were talking about earlier, you got to watch the dressings and stuff. But don't be afraid to order 3 sides. Don't be afraid to tell that waiter or waitress, hey, I need you to take this off. I just want this.
And the portions, like we're going to Mexico, so it's a little bit different. They give like little small portions, and so you could just have like a couple. But like most of the time here in this area, the portions are ginormous. Yeah. I went to BJ's this week to meet with somebody who's talking about getting into real estate and being on our team. And I love the chicken barbecue salad, so I went ahead and got that. But I probably ate maybe a fifth of it. And I put the rest of it in a box, and I brought it home to my husband. And he ate it. And it has like black beans and it has some stuff there. It's not that healthy for you, but there's some good stuff in there. But like the portion sizes are just huge. So you can go ahead and ask for the box, like just certain things like that. But so me, I like fish. But I can eat salmon and shrimp every day.
Now I do eat fish. I eat fish once or twice a week. So when my body's really craving that protein or I really feel like I need it, go for the fish. And really salmon, I mean, we've all heard about the omega-3s that you find in salmon. And
it's just a little bit fattier or whatever, but it's a good fat.
It's a good fat. Your body needs that
Avocado's a good fat.
Avocado.
I have my kids, so this is the thing, is like everything I do, my kids do it as well. That's why I have to be really careful about what I do. Because if it's a bad habit, they're going to follow suit. But like when I was doing this 75 hard, you had to drink a gallon of water every day. My kids wanted a gallon water bottle, and now they keep it in their rooms. They drink on it all day. And like I know for all of us, we drink a lot more water. And so we do that. And then as far as like my kids will eat salmon. So they eat a lot of the stuff that we eat in our house. But if I leave it up to anybody to do their own thing, they're going to get pizza, they're going to get burgers, they're going to get, whatever. So it's all about planning for us. And when we don't plan, like it's bad. It's a bad week. Yep. And then I feel bad. Yep. And then I notice, and here's the thing is I can notice when I look at our girls, like if they've been eating really bad for the last couple of days, they look bloated a little bit. I love my kids. They're beautiful though. But but it's the same thing for me. Yeah. Like I know it's happening to me too. Yep. It all starts at home.
If you bring bad things into your house, you or someone you love is going to eat it. I think that's that's something that everyone should think about. Really.
You should clean your pantries out first.
So there's a whole kitchen clean out section in one of my plans about getting the bad everything stuff out, man. You got
do people who have kids, do they get pissed?
Do the kids get pissed? Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
I know I have a daughter that she would go ballistic.
But you know what? Kids are resilient.
But if they're going to be mad at me because I'm healthy and I'm making them healthy, I figure there's a lot more things that it couldn't be the worst thing they're going to be mad at me about.
Okay, so I have a theory about this. We spend so much time and energy and effort talking about their education.
But not their nutrition.
Education's important, right? Yeah. Amen, education, right? We never, ever spend that much time talking about our kids' health. And so if you recognize certain things in your children, whether it's obesity or whether it's they're drinking too many sodas, whatever it is, for us as parents not to step in,
we're not doing our jobs.
You have to question. Yeah, you have to sort of say, "What am I doing?" I'm more concerned about their what they're learning in school, and I'm less concerned about their health. I mean,
do you work with people who are not in the area?
I do. Yeah, we can. With technology now,
you can pretty much do anything.
I mean, you
That's
can
what
really do it all.
I've sold several homes. I've never even stepped foot in the house. I've never met the seller in person. Like technology's come a long way.
Someone texted me yesterday. They said there was 3 exercises they wanted to do, and they live 10 states away. And they said, "How do you do these again?" I went out to the workout area, did that in the video.
Yeah, video.
Send
people.
It to them. So,
I'm not afraid to be on video.
Absolutely.
So if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, because I have friends all over the U.S. 5,000 friends actually. But if somebody wanted to get in touch with you and maybe talk to you more about wanting to have you possibly put together a plan for them, how would they get in touch with you?
So thank you for my kids. So I'm not you. I'm not the social media. I'm not this right here. But my kids finally convinced me to set up a Facebook page. So,
I tried to find you today. I couldn't find you.
So it's BB Nutrition and Training. BB capital B Barry Barnes. My name is Barry Barnes, and I have the regular Facebook page. But it's linked to the business page, BB Nutrition and Training.
And they can just go on there and message you through there.
Absolutely, BB Nutrition.
I'm glad he came on today. I didn't know I was going to do this or whatever, but I probably am going to reach out to you. I don't like to say probably. I am going to reach out to you because I need something like this. Yeah. And he lives next door, so what kind of accountability could I get from him?
It's going to be bad. Yeah, I'm going to be over the fence.
Yeah, I'm going to be out on my patio drinking a margarita in the middle of the week, and he's going to be like, don't think that's on your plan.
Wine. Don't drink margaritas. Drink wine.
I do drink wine every once in a while, but here's the thing is I don't really care for alcohol. I just like the little taste of it.
Sure.
And my husband gets really irritated because we'll go to a restaurant and I'll buy like a $15 margarita or something. And he's like, why not just get it in a shot? Because I take about 2 sips and I'm done.
He's got a good point.
And I'm like, yeah, but then it's going to be like, it doesn't taste as good. I don't know.
Alcohol, during this COVID and quarantine, that's like the number one thing people say is, I really don't want to give up my drinking. And I get it. You just have to be... you have to make, I think, wiser decisions. If you're going to have a drink or two, you just have to make it the wine or the vodka with club soda.
Yes.
Keep the sugars.
Just make it a better choice.
Keep the sugars out.
So it's funny you say that because right now with COVID, and then we'll end it with this, but, with COVID, like, a lot of people are at home. They have more time on their hands more than ever. There's nothing else you can go do. Now would be a perfect time if you are thinking about getting into, wanting to start a new nutrition or starting a new workout plan or something. Now is the perfect time to do that. I know for us, like we found that we do a lot more walks with our kids, more than we ever did before. We found places to go hiking. Like we find ourselves a lot more outdoors just for, I think, our psychological health. And so now would be a great time if you guys are thinking about this to reach out to somebody like Barry or, somebody else that maybe but the time's going to pass anyways. And now you have more time than ever. So there's really no excuse.
That's right. Do it.
Yeah.
It'd be the best decision you've ever made in your life to get your health and your nutrition.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm looking forward to it because I want to feel better. So you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for coming on here. And Barry.
Thank you.
He was my guinea pig for my live, and it was actually a lot of fun. I know we had a couple people on here say some stuff, but you talked about intermittent fasting, and you talked about that, so we're good. But you guys reach out to him. It is, say your Facebook again?
BB Nutrition and Training. Okay,
BB Nutrition and Training, and I'll actually post a link on here too whenever we edit. So if you guys need anything, let me know, and keep slaying it, you guys.
This episode of the Slayin' It with Shawna podcast has ended. Don't forget to rate and review, so we can continue to bring you the best content.
Keep slaying it.